Hello, welcome. I'm Jane Valentina, and this is Musing Interruptus. Listen to Musing Interruptus if you like stories and learning idiomatic phrases in different contexts. You can read along. Just click on Continue Reading in the description to open a Google Doc with the transcription of this episode. The idiomatic expressions are in italics. Try to get the meaning from the context and then look them up to see if you were right. If you like it, subscribe, follow, and share. But more importantly, continue the conversation. Drop a comment with your answers to today's questions. I love hearing from you. We need to carry on for the living. Some have children, some don't. It is important to find a reason to care. Things that move us in life. The living's well-being, for one, your own well-being, is a great place to start. That which gives meaning to your life can change throughout your existence. What you want to experience in your lifetime is fundamental knowledge. Where do you want to go? What do you want to see? What change do you want to be a part of? What do you want to create? How do you want to be remembered? The path becomes clear when we start to answer these questions. I was thinking about all of this because a dear student has been struggling with an ailment. She suspended our work temporarily, just until her health picked up again. We worked together one-on-one. Our classes were sweet, sometimes funny, and we did homework together. And there were stories. I've told lots of stories, or parts of them, shared thoughts. Some of my favorite stories are in music. When we listen to music, we get a part of the story. What the writer was feeling is revealed and accompanied by music and instruments, all of which communicate a piece of a greater tale, a description of a person, or the depth and hues of the atmosphere. A voyeur in recovery. Many years ago, I decided to be more respectful of people's stories and my own. The energy they contain should not be exploited lightly. There is a reason I write what I write and never show what I paint publicly. It's not just because I'm not a good painter. With the recognition of the hollowedness of that energy comes a clock that runs on a platonic schedule. You will learn in due time and struggle. This might be applied to the people we meet, teach, and learn from, those whom we love. A Freudian metronome that marks the time in which we pursue certain types of relationships with ourselves and others. Some stories are shared with that type of precision. At first, you might find yourself piecing together clues, a glimpse here and there, a mood, an errant phrase. As a friend, it's my job to be patient, unlike a psychoanalyst whose job it is to ask the questions to uncover what the unconscious wants to manifest. A friend must be patient for it to become conscious, for the storm to pass, a hug, a listen, and when possible, help. The story will come after. We need to verbalize our understanding of what we have just weathered. We share it, I guess, in part because although we breathe on our own, there is comfort when we breathe together. In the way we share a piece of chocolate, we share our lives. It just tastes better that way. We can smile at each other as we do it. However, each person eats their own piece of chocolate and tastes their own piece of chocolate. It is about patience. The story comes when someone needs to share it. A baker doesn't pull a cake out of the oven ahead of time. You patiently wait for your friend. I bet there are stories I have heard for which I have yet to understand their significance. Those are the types of stories that are not for the listener. This week I heard stories that broke my heart open. And in their telling, my heart was pieced back together carefully, lovingly. That doesn't always happen. One about a child and a mother who never gave up, never gave in, momentous. I admire strength, determination, and accomplishment. I celebrate the mother whose child benefited from each carefully chosen morsel, warm word, patience, when it was most scarce, and commitment when resources dwindled. We were in class. She told me the story. I made notes. As I do, as my heart ached for her in the past and marveled at who she had become. All through it, she recognized God and science and how darkness brought the light. Her story is a testament to love, patience, and discipline. And why my student needed to tell that story, I may never know. From the most selfish position I can muster, I can construe her telling it as an intervention for my benefit. I said selfish. I needed hope to counteract my anger and frustration over the world's injustices, especially that day. Anger and frustration for a small town in Chile, as my mother left it, now a small city. Not the town as a whole, but 2 inhabitants. As I write this, I know how puerile my reasoning is, as if there were rules a disaster must follow. An overlooked Geneva Convention is still invoked in the classroom, and I grasp at straws. I know. But if I say it out loud, I might be heard and everything could be turned around. A controlling and paternal booming voice from the heavens, parallel in existence with the troposphere, stratosphere, and mesosphere, might part the nimbus and stratus clouds, some portal that opens up to the heavens. And the booming voice, or purifying rain, or counterclockwise finger on the great clock of our existence is set into action, and just like that we have justice, either from it never happening or because of the healing of at least one of the ailments in that home. That never came. Year after year, medical negligence that may have avoided all of this. Nurses who brought peace and care. Doctors with words that were difficult to pronounce and procedures that would alter their existence and perception of life. People take drugs for that. They were prescribed the medications that would give the cold new dimensions. They too would see the darkness call light to congregate. Friends and family, a public health system that would make their survival possible as long as it was possible. What he was most grateful for were his friends, compassion, and what was shared with them, and now just him. The only way out is through, with love and light, if we let it in. We need to carry on because we are living. Thank you for listening. The mix and master were done by Jesus Dario, my sound partner. Have you been a good friend? Do you let your friends be good to you? How has light shown itself, and what questions have helped you find your path? I'm listening.